Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom! Right. And shine. Even on a cloud-covered day, your boy your boy Marky said doing the morning motivation no matter what. Try saying that all at the same time. It just stacks and stacks and gets over my head, and words want to come out faster than my mouth can count. And that's what it has to be. Sold to the man who still shines even on a cloudy day. Man, it was cold a second ago. I need that shine. I need that shine to warm up my soul. I need a little bit of hope. Shit, I didn't even believe enough to bring my shades, bro. My Saint shades. I didn't even bring any shades. It was just so cloudy. And on a cloudy cover day, we're going to talk about that. It doesn't just rain on one person. Isn't just cloudy on you. And not one thing that you've experienced has been unique to you. And this is why we're going to go into it. Shall we, Saints Addiction. So I've already started the morning motivation. About already done with this stogie. My little blunt, billionaire blunt, you know what I'm saying? Wanting to get in on this game called life. And it's like, shit. Sometimes life is shit. And then you got to realize that some of us would rather personalize this shit and take it personal as if it's the only thing that's happening to us, or we're the only one it's ever happened to, or there's the rest of us that take the perspective of lessons and experience, and then you got this wealth of knowledge that wasn't there before. So there's the people that are sitting and they're like, I don't want to experiment. I don't want my life to be on the edge. I don't want someone to teach me something I don't know about. I don't want unknown things to happen. And you can try to nerf the world. Hell, you can try to be a hermit. I was watching the special on Ted Kaczynski and how they caught the Unabomber. Turns out, even in his hermit ways, he still was trying to, some eyelash in my eye, there it is. He still was trying to reach out to everybody with his manifesto. He still was trying to get some attention from someone. And I'm like, this stuff works on everyone. You know, it don't matter if you're 160, 170 IQ score. Doesn't matter if you're a fucking hermit that's diligent and extremely intelligent. It doesn't even matter that you're all alone and you're in a forest and no one knows where the fuck you are. Eventually we emote. We receive, you know, we start to emit a bat signal. And like I was talking about wants and needs, you can act stoic all you want, but there's some human necessities. They talk about the essentials, right? When COVID happened. Well, our sexuality is essential, you know? And you'd be like, oh, how can we mention that? Don't mention menstruation and masturbation and lesbianism in Anne Frank's diary. Don't be a real 13-year-old girl that has a crush on a boy and actually wants to have sex with him. Don't be human. Turn that shit off. You're not supposed to be lustful. Go back to God. And you're just like, wait a minute. This is part of my experience. This is part of my life. You know, I'm meant to make love to someone. It's not your main concern, but like I was listening to Kanye, he was like, man, going to the mall with a lot of flirting involved, you know, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to flirt 13, 14, 15, so you can see who the fuck you fuck with, you know? I wouldn't have fucked with him. Well, now you know, what kind of guys you going for. You're a 13, 14, 15-year-old girl, and you start to get attracted to men. And you're on some, who am I going to open up to? Who am I going to give my virginity to? Who am I going to let touch me? And this is an evolving process. You go from someone that shouldn't be touched at all to now you're blossomed, and now all you want to be is touched. And then you go further, and now this dude's, what was he, 50, I think? Kaczynski was 50, and he didn't want anything to do with anybody. He just swore off all of his family. You're going to emote. You're going to emit. You're going to send out your bat signal. And you're going to want someone to hear it. He could have stayed at that spot, terrorizing everybody, but he wanted to send his manuscript, right? Not only to his brother, but to the whole news. And if he didn't emit, and reflect his light out to the world, say, hey, I want somebody to notice what I'm doing. Let me initial my bombs. Let me write cleverly, let me leak these manuscripts. And soon enough, his ego caught up with him, and soon enough, your wants will catch up with you, and soon enough, your needs will supersede. And it's almost like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You're going to be like, I can't be sexual right now. I can't be spiritual right now. I'm trying to pay my bills. And then there'll be people that already got their bills, and then they're all alone in their home going like, will somebody just come hang out with me? Saints Addictions is about extremes, right? There's the Saints Addiction. There's the extremes that are in all of us, that you want to be pious. You want to maybe believe, and, maybe there's a God, maybe there's not, But I'm sitting here going, if you're willing to believe in this guy daddy, why not believe in yourself? Why not believe in hope? Why not pump this thing called our brain full of something that we could change? Today I had somebody hit me up from Periscope days. Max, shout out to you, bro. And he was killing it at the game. Max is one of the old school scopers. How cool would it be if X brings back Periscope? We'd all kill it. Just bring back all the scopers and have us all fly in to like New York or do an event and a meetup. That would blow it up. Just say it. That would be dope. And that's what it is. It's some cloud cover. Literally, the sun always rising, but our perspective to it, to get out into it and get fresh air, or do something on your Saturday, or move the bones, they're all decisions, man. There's always so much cloud cover to keep us from doing the right thing, and then it's not always the right thing that we want to do. Sometimes it's mostly saints. Sometimes we want to be devilish and lustful and horny, and that's also a human thing too. So this human thing was like, yo, I don't just need you to sit there and ovulate. I need you to procreate. And you're going to be like, what? Yeah, it wasn't enough to just chase your career. It wasn't enough to just chase some wants and some aesthetics, some accomplishments. Like, we got to come together. And I watch people all the time, like, why did this chick just pull into the park to flip around only to leave the park? Man, people are so fucking weird. Some people's kids, bro. But let's smoke. Message brought to you by Roken Vapes, championship of vapes. Mention Saints Addiction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mention Saints Addiction. Fuck, I can't talk this morning. For 15% off. Let me get all these little hairs out of here so you don't inhale situations, that is. But yeah, I'm just watching people that'll take the same situations and you put it in a different person's personality or a different zodiac, and they just handle it differently. And I watch people do that. I watch people put some cloud cover on their shit. Like, maybe if we don't ever talk about it, it'll go away. There's a lot of people that'll push it down every day. I think about how long depression lasts. Saints Addiction cartridges sold separately. Cold outside, you gotta get that oil going. Oh, so much tastier than the end of a blunt. And there it is, 12 different zodiac signs, all the same issues anybody's ever had, broken hearts, you name it, Romeo and Juliet, lost love, unfair life situations that we don't believe. We started to believe we'll believe in like fairy tales, right? We'll believe in get rich quick schemes. We'll look at someone's 40 years of hard work and just think it's an overnight success. And there it is in front of us, but we won't see it. You won't see all the time someone puts in at a UFC fight. You won't see the things that the person came to accomplish. And I watch these guys, these entrepreneurs that are on LinkedIn, and they're all getting interviewed, and dude's talking about getting raised in Iran and all the things that he had to overcome. And we want to see a success story. The last thing we want to see is second place, third place. The guy that fell off, the guy that blew out his knee at NBA champ at the first day, or had the major sign-in bonus but then got traded, or his wife left him because he didn't get signed. You know, we want to see everybody successful. But there's an underdog story there. There's some cloud cover. There's a, oh shit, I have to make it. I have to make it past certain hurdles, you know? I had to get past my anger, you know? And not sit there and feel like I had to defend myself with anger, or to make situations worse. That Creole blood I got fired up. I'm gonna control my demons. And then sometimes let them out too, you know? I think the trick is to let them out in the right way. I let it out on my shirt designs when I'm being sacrilegious, or I'm letting it out when I'm what's the other thing, going to the gym and exercising the demons, you know, hitting these pull-ups. That's my spot. That little kid zone's where it happens. And all of it is just to let out frustrations. We all have anxieties. We're all gonna have fear, high heart rate, and things that make us scared, you know, the unknown. And I'm on some, I like living there. I like living uncomfortable. I like pushing myself. Oh, it's cold outside? Bet I can wear a coat, you know? Oh, it's hard? Bet I can have hope, you know? Oh, people misunderstand me? No problem. I'm gonna go someplace where I'm celebrated and not tolerated. It's on me to make decisions to move me faster. This decision to stay here this winter, stay with my girlfriend and go see her instead of flying south, and handle business instead of running away, and being here for the holidays. You know, I'm never around for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I never see my peoples this way. Grab some toilet paper. It's the truth. I just don't. And that's what's gonna end up happening, you know? Runny nose happens, cloudy days happen, misunderstandings happen. I wanna know, how do I happen to be better at it, you know? And how do I make these frustrations not turn into an all-day festivity, like Deion Sanders says? You might give me a bad couple hours, but not a bad day. Ain't nobody got it like that but me. And that's what it is. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. That willpower to not cover the things, to not push them underneath and hope that they go away. And you know, they used to say sweep it under the rug. It's a very known term, you know, an idiom that we all say, you know, just water off a duck's back, sweep it under the rug, forgive and forget. And you'll hear cliches over and over again, right? You'll get somebody that'll believe that shit. And I'm over here going like, let's dig it up. I'm an archaeologist. What really happened? Let's put some science on it. Let's put some psychology on it. Hell, I'll even sprinkle some astrology on it. It's about understanding that. And I think that's the only thing that you should be trying to do, is understand you, right? So own self be true. Whether it's nobler in the mind, to be noble in your mind, to get the best effective parts out of you. I think of all of these people, and I know some pretty successful people, and I'm just like, I'm so grateful that I didn't get to a level where I got millions of dollars, but I ignore people, or I got multi-millions of dollars, but I don't want to name drops, but you know, I got a bad attitude. Or just like that one guy told the story, you know, they were making his multi-million-dollar dream home, and the Mexicans building the home were happier than he was. If anything, not only is it me versus me, and it's you versus you, but it's also a happy competition. You know, if everybody can be competitively religious or competitively spiritual or super pious, right? Why can't we be super nice? You know, why are we always so on the outs where we've been so burnt? You know, these people love their dogs more than humans. You know, they come to meet up because they both got dogs. They don't come to meet up because they both got boyfriends or husbands or lives outside of that. And then they go, that's where you did it. You overcompensated. You know, you fucking try to make your dog's a man's best friend instead of having a man. And there's all sorts of people that do that in the end, right? As long as I got followers, what if they drop your Instagram? Are you still a human being, right? Do you still exist? What happened to my 126,000 followers? Well, half of them were bots, half of them were thirst traps, half of them were trolls, and half of them were what do they call those? Stalkers, right? It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that we do these things. It's crazy to me that we go for situations that don't fit us so well. And yeah, you're gonna have to experiment. You're gonna have to figure it out, just like you did in the teenage years. Dogs on shirts on Instagram, dogonshirt.com. Yeah. And I think that's just part of the human condition, that one day you're going to have to break free and figure it out on your own. You know, that you're going to have to deal with situations and not have them covered up, but like actually exposed and out there in the real world, out in that grave. What did I read? Charlie Chaplin's body got stolen, and his wife, they wanted like millions of dollars, and his wife was like, Charlie Chaplin would find this idea absolutely ridiculous. Plus, he was Jewish and wanted to keep all his money, so that part in itself. But you know, they weren't even wanting the dead body, you know, and people are still looking for the dead body of Genghis Khan, or, you know, where's the lost ark? You know, all of us are looking for it, bro. We're looking for the spark, you know, the spark in our lives, that hope, that ignition, that little bit of light that goes, yeah, you know what? I am on a mission, and yeah, it's tough, but I chose it. And at least I'm on top of the hill, on top of the mountain. I went and for something instead of I stayed in the valley where I know for sure I'm going to freeze. And I know for sure it's going to be dangerous. So you want a vantage point? Climb. You know, it hurts, good. That's fuel. And don't cover it, you know. If nothing else, I think that this is my honest belief, you know. Not only was I trained as a child because I was moving every year because my dad was a construction worker. So, you know, he'd work himself out of a job and we'd go to a new school suddenly and have to make new friends and lose girlfriends and miss the party and all that stuff. What ended up happening to me was I learned how to pack 30 minutes or less. As soon as you see the heat come around the corner, you can't walk out on 30 seconds or less. It don't belong. And I took that movie, The Heat, movies on shirts, and, you know, Robert De Niro, and great scene. They never, all those years, Robert De Niro and your boy, what's the other dude's name? Sense of a Woman, right? Al Pacino sat across from each other, you know, kindred spirits on film and for the first time. And it's almost like looking at both sides of the coin. One's a good guy, one's a bad guy, but the good guy's kind of a bad guy, you know? He's acting erratic. He's looking like he chips cocaine. He just has sudden outbursts, and he understands he lives and understands the criminal world. He gets low and slow. He's slumming it, hanging out with the hookers and prostitutes, going to the nightclubs. He's not at home. He's losing his wife because he's not paying attention to her, and she's sleeping with other men because she's got needs. And there he is, married to the game, married to the LAPD. And then you got the other side who's supposed to be a criminal, but he's the one that's most free. He's not actually trying to hurt anybody. He just doesn't believe in the system, and he just wants to be free. He keeps no attachments, and he keeps an honor code to him, similar to a cop, right? Similar to somebody else that, you know, they found a little bit in each other, you know, that they're both lonely individuals and both underdeveloped when it comes to social skills and getting close to people, and how his marriage is rotting and the other one's trying to keep a love life together, and they're both in it together, you know, our lives, the good and the bad, the halo and the horns, you know, we wear them both. You know, you're going to get streaks of horny, and then you're going to get streaks of lonely, and then you're going to get, you know, streaks of fun, and then you're going to get streaks of bored, and that's going to be huge lessons and high peaks, and then there'll be huge depressions and lots of valleys. And in this, I didn't feel bipolar. You know, I had my psychologist ask me, and I was just like, well, if I'm bipolar, where are my high highs? Well, this one was like 19. It was just, it all felt like a cloud, right? It was just following over me. But little did I see, all I was seeing was the clouds. My perspective was here. I didn't feel any highs, the shine, and I couldn't see anything clear. I couldn't see the baby blue skies that were coming for me. I couldn't see the moments of my freedom, out of jail, out of depression, out of unhealthiness. And now I sit here slim. Thank you to fasting, you know, intermittent fasting and water. And I sit here clear. Even some days without weeds, not a panic. I don't go run for it. You know, don't always have to smoke. That might even be the new show, you know, watching somebody completely just sober, bro. It's enough that I don't do the pills, and I don't do the powders, and I don't do the hearts. It's not like that anymore. It won't work. I'm trying to explain that to people. You know, when people looking for that fun, that high, that top of the mountains, usually we call these people adrenaline junkies. But what they don't teach you is when they come down off of that sauce, it's too much sauce. It's Icarus. You flow too close to the sun, and your wax wings, they melt, and you fall to the earth. All of us do. And there'll be some of us will be trying to Kanye West it, trying to relive Michael Jackson's life, a superstar, super pop star, and I could see him trying to emulate, right? But Michael Jackson died with puncture wounds all over in his veins. He was injecting basically heroin, you know? All he had was pills in his stomach, you know what I mean? He tattooed his own eyebrows on. He was hairless. He had over 10 reconstructive surgeries on his nose, and one of his nose was completely blocked. I mean, come on, completely unhappy, and not to mention soiling his good name with fucking with kids. And there it is, you know. You're gonna try to put your little halo on. To most people, he's a god, you know. They're willing to ignore the bad things that he's done. They'll pull a Trump and be like, yeah, sure, sleep with a porn star. You'll pull a Bill Clinton did it too. Both are great salesmen, right? The salesman that can get a blowjob in the Oval Office, but nobody will say shit. But yeah, just a blowjob. It was more than a blowjob, bro. She kept that dress, the blue dress that she got come on, as evidence. She was like, I'm not wiping this off. I'm gonna keep this dress. And it was more than once, bro. It was getting oral while he was on the phones with senators. She was just basically his blowjob machine. Anytime she could, it wasn't just a one-time thing. You know, they were going around the corner. I think there was another president that was also that horny too. I think not Grover Cleveland, but a skinner dude. Maybe he was a senator, but he was also known for being a fuckster and not keeping his dick in his pants. And there it is, right? You know, like which brain do we lead with? You know, what inclination are you going to follow? Are you going to follow that urge, right? That urge to drink, right? You know, and then there's that distinct feeling. You're like, yo, let me feel that way, and then I'll feel okay. You know, let me cover it up. You know, I don't want to feel the other way. I can't manage those feelings, and I'm always trying to chase my feelings. So if I don't feel okay, I was thinking that about depression. It's just like I would wait for my brain to feel okay. Does that make sense? Like I'm waiting for it to pull itself up instead of pumping it full of good thoughts or going out for walks or doing any of those other things. But oh shit, something really bad happened to me. I guess it's going to be another 2-3 years of just Taco Bell eating, fast food, late nights, loneliness, masturbation. It's kind of self-imposed depression, self-imposed prison sentence in my mind, and I would give up years. And now I look at it and I'm like, whoa, shit. Somebody's like, oh, we've been dating for 3 years. You'd be like, that's a lot of time. You know, if you equated it to jail time, you'd be like, damn, that's a lot of time. But when you have time, when you're young, you're just like, yeah, sure. he's so right. Our boy Robert Greene would tell you, it's why not when you're in your 20s go be a lifeguard and meet girls and play around. Now I'm on my 40s, I'm in build mode. I don't have 3 years to just throw around. It wasn't like that no more. It's like every day counts, and you get a perspective switch. You stop covering up your shit and stop looking at scrolls, deadly scrolls, doom scrolling. You stop doing that shit and you go like, I should be doing something with my time. I should stop watching these guys do lumberyard work and stop watching even me, bro. I don't want people to do that. I wanted them to be like, I don't need Periscope where we're all on the scope. It was nice when we could pass the scope, go watch somebody doing something interesting. You can always rewatch these things. You know what I mean? That's the point of me doing them. Even no one's watching. For the one person that rewatches it, and they'll feel like their day has cloud cover. Their head has cloud cover. Maybe they feel like there's a cloud over their head. Then this message is meant for them. If it's one of those situations where you're just like, how do I focus on some positives, right? How do I get this brain of mine to work for me instead of against me? How do I not cover it up with the same shit, whatever it is? Purchasing coffee, sexuality. We all know we'd be chasing the dragon. We're not alone. Not one person on this planet has a drug that you don't have or an experience you don't have. It's unique to you, but you're not the first one with those feelings. And that's why it's so important for people to be identifying, am I chasing my feelings or am I chasing my solutions? Am I chasing the situations that I want to come to light, or is it one of those situations where my light is covered up? And I don't want anybody's light to be covered up. I want them to be able to shine, right? Straight up, every day. Find some hope, a little bit of ray of sunlight there, a little ray of sunshine, and that silver lining, and be like, it's not as bad as it used to be, I'm not as broke as I used to be. I'm not as lonely as I used to be. I'm not as horny as I used to be. And those things should be celebrated. I know for facts the guy that was overweight and started this journey about 3 years ago, right over there. And I was just like, I gotta get out of depression. And I said, go for walks, get up early, brush your teeth with your left hand, tell yourself you love yourself in the morning, look at yourself, what do you love? And rewiring. It's that simple. No more cloud covering. No more bullshitting, no more hiding. It was literally just an exposure of everything. Fuck, these kids are trying to get on the live, but they can't pick up after themselves. Fucking hells. Yep. But that's what it is, It's a renewed focus. It's a expanding of, our consciousness, expanding of our attitude, expanding of our perspective. So that way, maybe, just maybe, we can start telling ourselves nice things today. It's a nice Saturday. That's some nice sunshine. I'm getting shit done. Things are happening. My friends are helping me. I'm loved, And that's my 3 mantras. Everything's okay. Or everything's, I'm safe, and I'm loved. And as long as I felt that way, I didn't make as many decisions in rashness. The decisions are bold, bold over rash. I may have to make a mostly saint shirt, It's the bold over rash shirt, because you want to be intrepid, brave, proud of your decisions. You don't want to be like, even if it's 10 seconds of bravery, you got to pump yourself up to make it happen. That's dope too. But I'm saying I want somebody to actually take action. And watching yourself, even if you are scared, at least do something else, man. That's the Coffee Challenge. Give yourself a chance to do something else and see different results and feel different emotions. And that's all it is. Because at one moment, you can feel all funky and then you get some good news and then you're back on track. And then the next moment, you were feeling good and you got some bad news and you're off track. We're all susceptible to the wind and the wave and the rave. That's your morning marijuana motivation for today. If you got anything out of this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's do a dab hit. Let's do a broken vape hit. Before you guys dip. Before I dip. Man, that's nice. Let me know if you need some cartridges. And that's Saint's Addiction. Come out here every day and X marks the spot. You know, come in here under the sun and stand in the spot. Sun, X marks the spot. Sunshine marks Saint's addiction. You got anything out of this? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe below. You can order the hoodie. They're $100 on the website, saintsaddiction.com. Peace and love. And as always, Chigatan. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side. The other side of your fears. Yep. The other side of your excuses. And the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Traveled by Saints. Peace.